So any doubt, anything?
Sir, during the registration, sir, I have done the cloud registration on AWS. Na? At that time, sir, there is an option showing that for the personal and for the community in that both. First option.
Can you share your screen and show me?
Yeah. So,
I'm giving the rights.
okay.
Now you can share.
Okay, sir. So this one I have just today I have just done this register that.
Your screen is not visible.
So now?
Yeah, now it is.
So can you check this? I have.
So what is the issue? What are you saying?
So there is the personal for the personal project, and there is also the school and development organization. There is an option during the registration when I'm username and that all I'm doing that time.
Just give me the control.
Yes, sir. I have even.
So it means it could not get created, right?
Yes. So can you check this?
Yeah, sure. Let me.
Yeah.
Maybe you are using a wrong method. See, in order to create the account on AWS, what we have to do is we will go with the link. Like we simply have to type free AWS.
Sir, I have done with that all the account and all with debit
Sir, I
card.
was also getting that option.
You are also getting it. Okay, let me
Yes.
check what is happening.
So there were two options. One was for personal use and second one was for
Okay,
school
okay.
and
So
that
there you have to select the personal.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
not
I
the
have.
school.
Hello.
And sir, I have to confirm one thing.
Mhm.
Sir, in the last there was an three options. One was basic plan for free, and then second plan for developer.
You have to select basic. So basic is for 12 months, means it would be valid for 1 year, and that would come under free trial. So you
Okay.
will select personal use, then you will
Yes.
select the basic plan, then the account will get created.
Okay, thank you.
So is it can you log in with your credential and let me see where it is stuck?
Yes.
Root user.
Yes.
Okay. Can you go to services? Click on service. Then click on compute. EC2.
Sir, I have select that the basic one that you have.
So your account has been successfully created. It's working now. And what is another query? What are you saying?
Sir, the basic and that you have told us the second option, the basic
Right.
and the sir, haven't selected that. Just
You
skip that.
just share me your screen. Is your account created?
Sir, this is only.
You can share your screen. Let me check what is happening. So this account is successfully created now. It is workable.
Okay,
You
sir.
can share your screen and let me check what is happening. So are all of you working from home or you are in office?
Working from home, sir.
Working from home.
Office, sir.
Office.
So still you are in office or you
Office.
have come to home?
Sir, come to home.
Come to home.
Oh,
Sir, so we have come to home.
Office, sir.
you are in office. That's a big challenge. My company don't ask me to come to office and I'm getting very bored. Like since last 3 years, I have been working from home and they don't call us. They say that you don't need to come to office. So are you sharing your screen? कोई share कर रहा था ना कुछ?
Sir, if we asking the holiday, then company will say to come to office. Otherwise, work from home.
Oh. It means there is no leave.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
In case nobody is sharing the screen, then I am sharing my screen.
Yes, sir.
No,
No,
sir,
sir.
no.
Hello,
Yes.
sir. I am sharing the screen because I have, sir, मैंने अकाउंट बनाया था जो इसमें आपने जो बोला था, बट उसमें जो क्रेडेंशियल है एक बार पूछा था, मैंने उस टाइम पे नहीं डाल पाया। मैंने 2 दिन बाद उस अकाउंट को खोला तो उसमें सारा लॉगिन हो रहा था।
I don't understand. You can share your screen and show me the issue.
Yes, sir.
Just
Yes.
share. Yeah, share the screen. I am stopping my share. Okay, this is your screen. So what is the issue?
सर ये अकाउंट है, इसमें आपने बोला था कि 2 रुपए कटेगा वो बैंक अकाउंट का, बट इसमें तो कुछ कटा ही नहीं। एक्चुअली मैंने 2 दिन पहले अकाउंट बनाया था, तो उसमें तो एक बार पूछा था अकाउंट के लिए, बट मेरे पास उस टाइम पे वो डिटेल नहीं था, तो मैंने छोड़ दिया।
Just give me the control. I have requested for control.
Okay.
Approve it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is your account, and if I go to any of the services, this is the validation criteria. If you will go to any of the services, suppose in case I go to compute, and if I click on any of the service to launch, then if the account has been successfully created, then it will reflect, otherwise it will give me the error. So let's see whether this is the issue. It means the account is not successfully created. So here we need to click on complete your AWS registration because it could not get completed. Maybe you are saying that you have not given your card detail, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So
yes.
here you will have to give your card detail, your CVV, your name. Then again, you will click on verify. In the PAN, you will click on no. I don't have any PAN. In case you want to give, it's up to you. Otherwise, it is not mandatory. So you can click on no. Then click on verify and continue. And it will like going to charge 2 rupees from your account. So 2 rupees will be deducted, then your account will be validated. So that's something you have to do. Okay, will you be able to do it or you want to do it on the screen?
Sir, I will do it on the screen, sir.
On the screen, you will do it. Okay, so you can take the control, you can double click on the screen and you can enter the details. So it will accept Visa card, Maestro card and American Express. Rupee card will not be accepted here. If you have any Rupee debit card, then it will not work.
Sir, I have only Rupee debit card.
Oh, Rupee card is not going to work because here in the logo you can see Visa, Maestro and American Express. So don't you have any other card which has Visa enabled or Maestro enabled?
No, sir. No, sir.
Anyone in the family, you can use any card.
सर कोई भी कार्ड यूज कर सकते हैं?
Yes, of course you can. You can use any card.
सर अभी तो नहीं है, बट मैं बाद में कर लूंगा वो.
Okay, no issues. So you can use any card from your family member or from your friend or relative. make sure that should be Visa Maestro enabled. American Express card, I don't think that that would be there with you, because it is with the American Express users. So hardly, like the people who are earning very well, they might have the American Express card. So you can check your Visa and Maestro enabled debit card or credit card, and you can use the information. So now you know how to do it. Like in case you need to log into the Azure portal again, you will go to services, then compute, EC2. Once you will land to the EC2, then your card details page will open. If you don't understand, then the recording will be shared with you. This class is being recorded, so you will get the recording and you can refer the recording to get into the same page. Okay, now you can stop your sharing.
सर मेरे को थोड़ा डाउट है.
Yes,
मैं
tell me.
the screen. एक
Yeah,
मिनट.
you can.
Recording in progress.
शेयर करो सर.
There is duplicacy in the voice. I can hear echo. You can try sharing your screen. Now it is visible. Okay, so what's the issue?
Already account is created and not.
Okay,
Where I go now?
just click on services, go to compute, go to EC2. So it is also working. The account is okay.
Okay, thank you.
In case the account is not successfully created, then you will see the error on this page. Just
Oh,
like
okay.
we were seeing for the previous. What was your name?
Sadashiv Mahapatra.
Sadashiv. No. The person who has shared the screen and was getting the
Akash.
issue. Akash.
Ak-
So you will see the same error. In case the account is not successfully created, then you will see the same error on the screen. If you can see the resources, instance running, auto scaling group, it means it
Okay.
is successfully created. The account is working.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone else who is also facing the issue with the account creation? No one? Don't shy, you can speak up. If anyone have any problem, they can come with their question. Otherwise, that will be inside you and you will not ask anything. So that is going to impact your job interviews in the future. So better option would be just clarify your doubt. This is particularly a doubt session. So I'm sharing my screen then. So far what we have done, we have completed our concept of cloud. Like so far we know very well that what is cloud computing, what are its benefit, why organizations are using it, why every organizations are moving towards cloud. That's something we have clarified. Then we have discussed about the traditional infrastructure of the company, which is called on-prem or in-house. It is called on-prem, it is called in-house, or you can call it as traditional or legacy infrastructure. So these are the names. These are the name of the on-premises infra. When our infrastructure is hosted on cloud, so we will say that we are on cloud environment. If our infrastructure is not hosted on cloud, then we can say that we are on premises environment. So this is something we have discussed. Then we discussed about the benefits of cloud adoption. Like in case if we adopt the cloud computing in the company, so what are going to be the benefits to that organization? Then we have covered the types of cloud. Types of cloud, we have seen that in two scenarios, according to service delivery model and according to deployment. So according to service delivery, we have seen that cloud are of three types: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. This is something we have seen. Then according to deployment, we have seen that cloud are of three types again, which was public, private, and hybrid. And there is one more type of cloud, which was community. So we have discussed about community as well, but community cloud does not exist. It was just a college project in earlier days. So there are basically three main types of cloud: public, private, and hybrid. Then we have discussed about virtualization as well. Just to understand the private cloud computing concept, we had discussed about virtualization. And we had also discussed that in order to make the virtualization infrastructure, the companies are using either EXXI server, which is of VMware product, or they are using the Hyper-V, which is of Microsoft product. And nowadays there is Tanzu. So Tanzu is again one of the VMware product. VMware has created Tanzu. So even there is one more, OpenShift. So OpenShift is also used for private virtualization. So this is something we have discussed. Then we had discussed about AWS, like why AWS is a leader in the market. So we discussed about its share, its benefit, why every organization, like why most of the organization prefers AWS, why AWS is the first choice of the company. So we have discussed that. Is there any doubt on these particular concept? Anything? If you will not ask, then I will ask. No doubts. So I will pick anyone randomly now.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Hello. So once you can explain the virtualization EXCI server.
Okay. Virtualization you want to explain, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I will. So see, when we talk about virtualization, let me pick one of the image if it is available. That's good. When we talk about the earlier infrastructure, like the old infrastructure, so what used to be there? There used to be physical servers. Physical server in the sense, if we want to create any services on the server, so we would be needing the physical server. We had to purchase the physical hardware in the sense the servers. As we have discussed in the first session, that there are three kind of hardware category when it comes to server. The first one is tower, second one is rack, and the third one is blade server. So depending upon the size of organization, the company is going to purchase the servers. The small company which has around 100 or 200 employees, they would go with the tower server. The company which has 500 plus employees and the maximum criteria is 1500 or 2000, they would prefer the rack server. And the company which has more than 2000 employee, like the employee count is very huge, 5000, 10,000, so they prefer blade server in the company, and blade server is very costly. So I have also shown you the image of those particular hardwares. Now in the earlier days, in order to create the infrastructure, we have to buy the physical server. Now in the physical server, as we discussed, there is a limitation. Limitation means, suppose we have purchased a server which has only 108 GB of RAM and suppose 550 GB of SSD, which is hard drive, and 4 cores of CPU. 4 cores of CPU, which is Xeon. In the server, there is no i3, i7, i9. In the server, there will be Xeon processor. So suppose we had 4 cores of CPU, which is Xeon processor on our hardware. So it means our server can only give the performance till this hardware. Because I have this particular hardware limitation, so my server can only give me the performance up to this particular resource level. Now, as we have taken an example that on this particular server, we are running one of the service. Suppose we are running DHCP server. We have created one of the DHCP server on this hardware and we are running it. So what is the limitation of hardware? What is the limitation of physical server is that on the physical server, you are going to install one of the OS. Just like in our laptop, we also do it. That is our physical machine. Laptop is our physical system. On our physical system, what we do, in order to use it, we have to install one of the operating system. So operating system can be anything. If we talk about our personal perspective, then on the client end, we are installing Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11, just like that. But when we talk about server hardware, so we are going to install Windows Server. If the company is using Windows Server, then we will install Windows Server. If the company has the infra on Linux, then we will install Linux. On the Linux, we will install Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So that's the scenario. So on the hardware, what we have to do, we have to install one of the OS. Once the OS is installed, then we will run the services. Just like we want to create it as a DHCP server. So we will have to install the DHCP server role and we will have to make it as DHCP. That's the scenario. Now, suppose every resource uses some kind of hardware. Just like suppose your DHCP server is using around 8 GB of RAM. It is using 8 GB of RAM and it is only using 2 core of CPU. And when it comes to hard drive, so it is only using 4 GB storage in your physical machine. That's something the current consumption is. So you are running DHCP on this hardware and it is only utilizing these resources. But in total, we have 108 GB of RAM. But how much we are using? Only 8 GB. In total, we have 550 GB of hard drive, but how much we are using? 4 GB only. In total, we have 4 cores of CPU and at the current time, we are only using 2 cores of CPU. Now, when the audit happens, so this is a very important question. Just like suppose we are the engineer. There is an on-premises engineer. There is a server engineer who is managing this particular server in the company. So what server engineer is saying, server engineer goes to the IT manager and he tells the IT manager that we need to buy one more hardware. We will have to buy one more hardware server. Why? Because DHCP, the current DHCP server is allocating the IP addresses to around 4,000 clients. Means we have 4,000 client system and on those 4,000 client system, our DHCP is singly providing the dynamic IP addresses. Now, in case due to any hardware issue or due to any failure, if this DHCP goes down, if the DHCP is not working, it means if this server is not working, then it is going to impact our 4,000 system. So that will be a complete impact to the company. The 4,000 employees will not be able to work. That's the problem. So engineer goes to the IT manager and says that we should plan for another server. Another server means we should plan for one of the backup of DHCP. So that in case if the main DHCP goes down, then we should have the backup available. We can turn on that backup and we can use it for 4,000 client. So in order to manage the redundancy, what is redundancy? There is a term in IT, redundancy. You will often use this term while working as a cloud admin or system admin. This is very important term. Now, what is redundancy? Redundancy means in case if any of the server goes down in company, If any server is down, the server is not working. So just to ensure that there should not be any impact on the production, we should have another alternate servers available. We should have backup servers available so that in case of any outage, we can failover. Failover is another a technical word. It is highly used in the company. So during the outage, we can failover to another server. It means if my DHCP goes down, then I can switch, I can transfer my workload to another backup DHCP. That is called failover process. Now, suppose your workload has been transferred to another DHCP and you are trying to repair the older DHCP, the current DHCP, because this is your primary DHCP and this one is secondary. This is only a backup. So we have to troubleshoot this one. Although just to make sure that there should not be any outage in the company, we have transferred our load to another server, the secondary server. That is called failover process. But we have to repair this one as well. We have to troubleshoot this one as well, because we cannot only rely on this one. We should have two servers running just to manage the redundancy. Redundancy means availability part. So that if one server goes down, we should have another copy available. So that is called redundancy. And failover is a term. Failover means if one server goes down, then you can switch the traffic to another server. That is called failover. Now suppose after troubleshooting, you have successfully resolved the issue of primary DHCP. Now this DHCP server is working. It is in working state. So what you will do, your current traffic is on backup DHCP. Your backup DHCP is allocating the IP addresses to 4000 client. But now since your primary DHCP is in running condition, so you want to switch the traffic back to the primary DHCP. So in case you want to switch the traffic back from the secondary DHCP to primary DHCP, that process is called failback. This is again one of the technical term, failover, failback. So in the interview, the interviewer is also going to ask you like, what is your failover strategy in the company? How many servers you have created as part of failover cluster? So what kind of servers can be there as a failover in company? I will let you know during the classes. They will have the database failover in the company. They will have the Active Directory failover in the company. So there are some important servers which plays a very critical role in the company, and we would be having the failover for those. Means we will be having the backup server of those, just like in our case of DHCP. So we have the DHCP backup. Why? Because it is giving the IP to 4000 client. So in case if it is down, if it is not working, then 4000 users are going to get impacted. Understood the current situation? It is understood to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
now, so
Yes.
engineer is saying, the engineer is saying to the IT
Sir,
manager.
I have one doubt here.
Yes.
मान लो कोई यूजर ने काम कर रहा है, कुछ डाटा सेव नहीं किया है, तो अब जो बोले है ना फेल बैक प्रोसेस में, तो सर्वर चेंज हो जाएगा, तो मतलब कुछ इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा, उसका डाटा सेव रहेगा या नहीं रहेगा?
It will not impact. Why? Because see, we are fail backing the DHCP. DHCP is only responsible for IP allocation, not for data,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
only the thing that is only going to change is your IP address. Your IP addresses will be changed. No impact on the data.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so engineer is saying to the IT manager that if we will have this kind of situation, then we will lose our productivity. It is going to impact our business. So we should have a backup server. We will have to purchase another hardware with the same configuration so that we can run one of the DHCP backup. We can create another copy of DHCP as a secondary DHCP server. And in case of any outage, we will use another DHCP as a primary. We will switch the traffic. So from this query, this was a valid query. And not only with the DHCP, there are a lot of servers in the company, just like SQL server. SQL is a database. It is very critical. In case it gets down, then it is going to impact the production. Then there is a web server in company. Again, that is very critical because web server is hosting the website and the software. So in case if this goes down, then our website and our application will not be available. So this is very critical. Then Active Directory server, which is called DC. It is also very important because in case if it is down, then users will not be able to log in. Then the file server. In case the file server is down, then our data will not be available to the user. So there are a lot of server like this, which is very important. And we should have another redundancy server for that. So engineer is saying that just to manage the production impact, we should plan for another copies of these server. It means we will have to purchase another hardwares just to create the backup servers. So with this query, the IT manager goes to the finance team because finance team is going to decide about the purchase part. So IT manager is going to the finance team and finance team is saying that currently you have this server, you have this resource. On the DHCP, you are only using this resource. You are only consuming 4 GB of storage, 2 core of CPU and 8 GB of RAM out of this configuration. It means a lot of resources are getting wasted. Here you have 108 GB of RAM. You are only using 8 GB of RAM in the DHCP. Rest 100 GB of RAM is wasted. It is of no use. In the 550 GB of hard drive, you are only consuming 4 GB. Rest is wasted. In the 4 cores of CPU, you are only using the 2 core of CPU. That is again wasted. So there is a term in the IT which is called performance tuning. This is a Linux term, but it is also used in Windows terminology as well. So there is a term which is called performance tuning. In the performance tuning, the auditors, the finance team is going to check the load on the server, like what load we have on the hardware. And as per the load report, we can see that it is only consuming this much amount of resources. It means most of the resources, around 95% of the resources are wasted. And IT manager is saying that we have to purchase another backup server as well. We are not able to utilize one hardware at its peak, and we are asking for more servers. But there is a valid point just for the redundancy. IT manager has a valid point. IT manager is saying that if we will not purchase another hardware, then in case any server goes down, then we are not going to take any responsibility. Our company is going to suffer. But finance team, they are finance people. They are saying that you are not utilizing the server at its peaks. We cannot grant you the permission to buy another server. That would be wasted. But we need it. So these kind of problems were there. In the earlier days, this kind of problem was there. The engineer was asking for redundant server. Finance team was not approving the fund because of the performance tuning impact. So this was the problem in the earlier days. Then virtualization got introduced. So that was the invention of virtualization. Now what virtualization did? Virtualization says that if you have a hardware, suppose this is the hardware, we have this server with the configuration of this. Now on the single hardware, we can only run one operating system at a time. Means we can only install one operating system on a single hardware at a time, and we can only use one server. But because of the virtualization, now it was possible that on a single hardware platform, you can install multiple OS. You can now install multiple operating system on a single hardware, and those operating system will be acting independently. Independently means this is the figure. So this is your hardware, this one. In the hardware, it consists of RAM, storage. So this is your hardware. On the hardware platform directly, we are going to install one of the virtualization layer. Now, what is the virtualization layer? So virtualization layer means it will use your hardware resources for further allocation. So for virtualization layer, what we are going to do, we are going to install one of the hypervisor. There is a hypervisor which is required for virtualization. Means hypervisor is a software. You can say hypervisor is a software which is used to create virtualization on real hardware. So what are the examples of hypervisor? So hypervisor examples are EXXI and your Hyper-V, your Tanzu, etc. These are the example of hypervisor. So in order to create the virtualization, you will have to install these kind of hypervisor application on your hardware. It is just like an operating system. So hypervisor is just like an operating system which creates the virtualization environment. Once the virtualization environment is created, now what you can do is you can install multiple operating systems on it. Means on the single hardware, on the same hardware, you can install, suppose I want to install server 2019. On another, I want to install Linux. And I also want to install Windows Server 2022. So you can run multiple instances of operating system on the hypervisor layer, on the virtualization. Means on the same hardware. On the same hardware, now you can run multiple copies of operating system. They can be different OS. And you can run different services on each OS. Suppose on server 19, I want to run DHCP. So I will use it for DHCP. On Linux, suppose I want to use Apache, which is web server to host my website. So I will do it. And on Windows Server 2022, suppose I want to run my DNS server. So I will be running 3 servers on 3 different OS now, and there will be same hardware. Those will be on same hardware. And each operating system will be isolated with each other. Isolated means they will not know that they are running on a single hardware. Means server 2019 does not know that Linux is also running on this server and server 2022 is also running on the same hardware. So they will be isolated with each other. They will not know about each other and they will be running on the same hardware. That is called virtualization technology. So now we can fully utilize our hardware resources. Now we can use it on its peak. Now we can use 108 GB of RAM because we have multiple copies of server. Now we can use the hard disk at its peak. Now we can use CPU at its peaks. So this is the virtualization technology. So through this, we can save the cost. We have saved a lot of cost because of the virtualization technology, because we are running 3 servers on the same single hardware. So we don't have to purchase 3 different physical servers in the company. So obviously it is saving the cost. Somehow it is saving the cost for the company. So that is the virtualization. So in the virtualization, what is virtualization? Virtualization means the thing which does not physically exist. Means here the servers are assuming, the machines are assuming that we are running independently. We are 3 different operating system running on 3 different hardware, but they are running on the same hardware. That is the virtualization concept. And this is possible with the help of hypervisor. So in the virtualization, this is going to be the scenario. There will be a hardware. On the hardware, we have to install the virtualization layer. What is virtualization layer? That is hypervisor. Once that is done, then we can install operating system and we can do our work. We can install the softwares and all. So Saif, do you have any question?
Yes, sir. I have one doubt.
Yes.
Sir, as you have spoken that in virtualization, the main purpose of virtualization is to use our hardware efficiently. So in case we are running multiple servers on single hardware, so in case on a specific service there is increase in drastic amount of traffic, then sir, other service are also going to affect because they are using hardware efficiently. So they don't have the room for
Yeah, that's
hardware?
a good question.
Yes.
See, the question he is asking is that he's saying that we have a hardware. On that hardware, we are running different servers. Means suppose we have 3 different OS and we are running different server services. Now suppose at a point there is a load on Apache server, because this is a web server. So it means the users are going to access our website. So suppose there is a huge load on this Apache server. Due to this load, the server is not able to fulfill the request, and it is going to impact the production again. So in this situation, what we can do, since we are on the virtualization technology, so virtualization gives us the facility that suppose we have 108 GB of RAM, and this has been distributed among these servers. This 108 GB of RAM has been distributed among these 3 servers. If there is a huge load on the Apache, and if we have to increase the RAM, if we have to allocate more RAM to Apache, the current RAM is not sufficient, then we can do it. How we are going to do it? Suppose we have allocated around 50 GB of RAM to DNS server out of 108, and we have allocated around another 50 GB of RAM to Apache, and we have allocated another 8 GB of RAM to DHCP. So in total, we have allocated 108 GB of RAM to these 3 servers. Now, in case if we need to extend another 10 GB on the Apache, so we can do it, but for that we have to reduce another servers. Means suppose on DNS we are not using complete 50 GB of RAM. So in case we want to take 10 GB from this particular DNS, so we can do it, and we can reduce it up to 40 GB, and we can add that 10 GB here. So through this, we are going to manage the load on the server. But again, there is a limitation. If the load is very high, then we will not be able to manage that, because in the virtualization, whatever is our physical resource, whatever is our physical hardware limit, we can only allocate the resources up to that level only. Like we have only 108 GB of RAM, so we can only use 108 GB of RAM. Either we can reduce from another server, or we can add it to another. But if the load is more than 108 GB of RAM, then we will not be able to manage this. That's why the cloud got invented. That was the reason that in the virtualization, there was a hardware limitation. We can only use the services up to our hardware limit. During the case of peak load, we were not able to manage this. So that's why cloud got invented. In the cloud, there is a facility that if we require multiple resources, multiple hardware resources, we can do it. We can add any numbers of RAM, we can add any number of storage, we can add any number of processor as per our requirement. Even we can define the rule as well. In the cloud, we can define the auto scaling rule. With the auto scaling rule, what we can do is, in case our server suspect that we need another 10 GB of RAM. So because of the load sensing, the cloud is automatically going to add another 10 GB of RAM. You don't have to do it manually. So you can define the rule as per the load. Suppose there is a load algorithm that if my CPU utilization goes beyond 90%, then automatically add CPU on this server. So this is possible in the cloud. You don't have to do it manually even. But in virtualization and in the physical infrastructure, this was the limitation. We can only use the resource up to our hardware limit. So that was virtualization. So in case of peak load scenario, we can allocate further resources to that server, but for that we have to reduce the limit of another running servers. So that is possible. So that was the concept of private cloud. In the private cloud, what we are doing, we are creating a virtualization technology. In the virtualization technology, we are running multiple servers on the same hardware, and the company users, the company employee can access those servers from the company connected location. Means if they want to connect it from their home, so they will be connected through the VPN. If they are in office network, then they can access the servers. Who will access the servers in the company? So IT team is going to access the server, not the end user. Employee will not access the server in company. Only IT team is going to access the server and manage it. So in the private cloud environment, it's complete virtualization technology, and they can only be accessed through a private environment. Private environment means through the company environment. But in the virtualization, there was a high core of limitation. The limitation was for the resource. And the second limitation was, suppose this complete hardware goes down. This complete hardware is not working, then it is going to impact my 3 servers, because I am running 3 machines on a single hardware. So this is completely going to impact my DHCP, Apache, and DNS, because my hardware is down now. And during the case of maintenance, this is again one of the limitation. Maintenance means time to time in the company environment, there is a shutdown activity. This is something I'm talking about, the real scenario. So there is a shutdown activity in the real company. During the shutdown activity, we shut down the servers for a particular time just to make them cool. So this usually happens every month. In some organization, this happens in quarter basis. In some organization, this happens after every 6 months. But generally in most of the organization, it happens every month. So during the shutdown activity, if we will shut down, if we have planned to shut down this hardware, so it is going to shut down 3 servers at the same time. And there is one more activity which is called patching. So during the patch update, during the updation of these servers, whenever we are rolling out the patches, the update on the server, so we have to restart the hardware once the patch is completed. So once the server will be restarted, so again it is going to impact the 3 servers at the same time, because they are running on the same hardware. And in case we are increasing the resources, suppose we have 108 GB of RAM physically, and we want to add 100 GB of RAM more. Suppose we are going to add 100 GB of physical RAM on our physical server. So for that purpose, again, we will have to shut down the server and we have to add the RAM. So this is going to impact my 3 servers at the same time. So these are the limitation of virtualization. Since multiple services are running on the same hardware, so this was impacting our production workload. And the business owners was unable to meet the load of the user. There was a business impact. So that's the reason the cloud got invented. So this was one of the reason for cloud invention. Otherwise, there are a lot of reasons for cloud, just like we have discussed: operational expenditure, capital expenditure, scalability, availability part, compliance part, patching part. So this is again one of the limitation. That's the reason the public cloud got invented in the market. Understood?
So during patching in cloud, so like in on-premises, you said that during patching, after patching has completed, we have to restart the server.
Right.
And during, sir, in cloud environment, there is a necessary for restart.
Yes, of course. After every patch, we have to restart the server, whether it is on cloud, whether it is on premises. If you are running the patching, then you will have to restart.
So they
once
will
the
be,
patch
that
get
will be
installed,
managed.
then you will have to restart it.
So that will be managed by cloud providers.
Yes.
Okay.
If the servers are running on the cloud, then the patching activity will be managed by the cloud provider. Now there are 2 kinds of patching activity. Suppose we are on AWS, and on AWS we have created our suppose 50 servers are running on the AWS. Now there is an option. Option means patching has to be done on the operating system. Suppose we are running different mixtures of operating system, Windows Server and Linux on these 50 servers. If you have selected the patching to be handled by the cloud vendor, means AWS, then AWS is going to take care of the patching activity on these 50 servers. But before that, they are going to give you, like your company, suppose you are HCL, this is your server, which is running on AWS. So your company will have to give a downtime, which is called Bindo. Bindo means not Bindo server. Bindo means shutdown time. This is again one of the technical term. So your company HCL will have to give one of the window, the maintenance window to the AWS, that this is the time. Suppose they have given that after Friday night, like 2 a.m. in the Saturday morning to 6 a.m. in the Saturday morning, you have this much of time available. During this time period, every month you can do the patching activity on our 50 servers. So during this particular time period, AWS is going to do the patching on this 50 server, and these 50 servers will be unavailable. Unavailable means once they will be restarted, so they will be offline. So that's why the shutdown window is given by the company to the vendor. So during the downtime window, this has been done. So this is called downtime given by the company. During this period only, the patching activity will happen. Now suppose this is called managed services. In the managed services, your cloud vendor is going to take care of your patching environment. But suppose HCL means you have 50 servers running on the AWS platform and you want to do the patching with your own. Means you don't want to give it to the AWS. Your servers are running on the AWS, but the operating system level patching means the patching of Linux, the patching of Windows Server, which is running on this hardware, you want to do it with your own. You don't want to give it the charge to the AWS. So for this, you can again do it, but you would require the platform. How will you do the patching? So for that, again, you need some servers. So if you are planning for the server, then in company, what they do for Windows, they have WSUS, Windows Server Update Services, just to update the Windows Server environment. So you have to create this kind of server in the company so that you can update your 50 servers. Now, if you don't running your platform on Windows, if it is on Linux, then on Linux, there are tools. There are tools for patching. Tools like there is Ansible. This is one of the DevOps tool. So company can use the Ansible for rolling out the patches on Linux environment. It is only applicable for Linux, not for Windows. For Windows, this will not work. Or some companies are using Puppet for deploying the patches. Some companies are using SonarQube. These all are the DevOps tool. So these tools are used to patch the servers which are running on Linux platform. So company are going to use these kind of tools. And if they don't want to use these kind of tools, or they don't want to create this kind of server, because to run this tool, there should be a server. There will be a Linux server available in the company. You can run these tools on the Linux server. And for this, there should be Windows Server platform. Suppose you don't want to create any server for the patching. Then what you can do, you can use third-party tools. So some companies are also using third-party tools for updation activity. Third-party tools like there is ConnectWise, there is SolarWinds, there is Nebel, there is CIC. So these kind of tools can be used for patching activity. So these are the third-party tool, and these tools can take care of window patching as well. These can take care of Linux, Unix patching as well. So you don't have to create any server in the company then. So it depends upon company to company how they are patching their servers. Some companies are using the tool. Some companies are creating the servers in their company. So these tools are DevOps tools, and this is one of the monitoring tool actually. This is used to monitor the environment, and this is also used to patch the servers. Understood? So if your company has all the servers on the cloud environment and they have not given the authorization to AWS to perform the patching activity, then your company will take care of it during the maintenance window, during the downtime window. And you as an engineer, since you will be the cloud engineer, so you guys will be responsible for this activity because you are managing the AWS portal. So whatever resources are there on the AWS portal, it is your job to manage that. So patching activity will also be managed by you. it will not be managed by every engineer depending upon the level. It is not something that we have 25 AWS engineer in company and all the 25 engineers will be managing the patching. The task will be assigned to engineer depending upon their level. So once you will go to the company will train you. Suppose they are using any kind of tool. Suppose they are using this tool. So they will train you on this tool, and it hardly takes 15 to 20 minutes to understand this kind of tool. And if they are doing it on the server, from the server, then you should know. That time you should know how to do the patching. So I will let you know that how to do the patching from the server. In case you want to understand from tool as well, then I have the tool access, because in my current company we are using this tool. So I can give you the brief idea at the end of the session that how the patching activity happens. Otherwise, for the tool, the company is going to train you. But for the server, you should know. The server part you should know. In case there is a server in the company for patching, then they are not going to train you. You will have to do it with your own. So that part you should know. So don't worry, we will do this one. Not on Ansible Puppet. We are not going to do this. This is the DevOps job. But we will do it on the WSUS platform. And I will also give you the idea on this tool, how this works, how the patching works via this tool. I will give you. But this will happen after a long time. Not today, not tomorrow. This is going to happen after a long time. Once we will complete most of the topics in the AWS, then we are going to start this. So any further doubt on this particular concept? Any doubt? Any questions? No? Yes, kuch to.
What is patching?
Patching, see, patching means update. You know about window update?
Yes, sir.
So update is called patch. Technically, update is called patch, and the process to update a system is called patching. If I want to update my servers, then that process is called patching. So patch means update. Patching means it is a process through which we can update our servers. So in the company, you will see this word patching. They will not say update, they will say patching. The patching activity is there. Clear?
Yes, sir. And is
Sir,
there
one more doubt.
anything like Apipa kind of things?
Apipa kind of thing means?
Like we use DHCP for the allocation. So Apipa is alternative, like if DHCP is not working, kind of.
Right.
So is there anything like Apipa kind of things
on the cloud?
Yes, sir.
You mean to say that we are running the DHCP on the cloud, which is on AWS, and in case my DHCP is not able to provide the IP to systems which is there on cloud, then will there be any Apipa? That is your question, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So yes, same, it will be Apipa. In case my DHCP does not provide any IP to the client, then there will be Apipa IP on the cloud as well.
Okay. And
we are using everything, we are using the same thing, but we are using it on AWS portal. So everything is same. The thing that we are doing on premises, we are using all those things on the cloud environment. So concept is going to be same. There will be Apipa, there will be IP version 4, there will be IP version 6. Everything will remain same, but that is happening on the cloud. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
And yes,
sir. One more doubt for me.
Yes.
One more.
Yeah. Why only Xeon processor used in servers?
Why?
Only Xeon processor.
Xeon processors. See,
yes, yes.
Xeon processors are the fastest processor. Just like on your personal devices, you have i3, i5, i7, i9. Xeon is more than that. Like Xeon is the combination of multiple cores. Do you understand what is core in the CPU?
No.
Processor.
Logical processor.
Yeah, logical processor, you can say. See, CPU is a most powerful component of our system. CPU performs the compute activity, means calculation activity, whatever input we give to the system,
Storage and
that is getting processed with the help of CPU. Storage, not storage. Storage is a different thing. Storage is a hard drive. CPU is the brain of system, means whatever instruction we are giving, 2 plus 2 plus 2 is what, that is getting processed by the CPU. If we are giving the instruction to our system that please open this browser, that is getting processed by the CPU, means whatever task we do on our system, that is getting processed by the CPU. And that's why the CPU limit should be high. If you have a good CPU, suppose you have i7 processor. If you have i7 processor in the system, it means there will be good speed. But if you have dual core processor in the system, then the speed will be less. So speed is directly proportionate to your CPU plus your RAM. RAM is also responsible for speed. So RAM is used for the what we can say, hyper-threading activity. Hyper-threading activity in the sense, whatever you can see on the screen, that is coming because of RAM. The display is coming because of RAM, and the consumption that you are doing, the input that you are giving to the system, just like I am typing something, I am typing BOSS. So this is getting processed because of the CPU. So CPU is a main player. CPU is responsible for compute activity. So on the server, CPU plays a very important role. RAM also plays a very important role. RAM has a different kind of thing, but CPU is the major player. If the CPU is less, then the speed of the server will be low. Now, when we talk about in our general system, so we have dual core, i3, i5, i7, i9. That is basically designed for our personal use, for end user devices. End user devices means the devices which is directly used by the user, just like us, just like the company employee, just like the personal employee. So they are called end users. Now, when we talk about server, hardware, so they will not be having i3, i5 or i7 kind of processor, because these servers, these processors have some limit. Even suppose this is my personal laptop, this is my own laptop, and in my personal laptop, I have i5 processor. If I go to property, then you can see it's i5 processor, and it's 2.42 gigahertz, which is the clock frequency. Now my hardware can only give me the performance till i5. And you might have noticed that i5 also gets hang. In the personal usage, i5 also gets hang. When we talk about the server hardware, so they are the big hardwares. They have a huge load. They have a huge infrastructure running. Just take an example of Facebook. In the Facebook, there is a Facebook server, which is hosting the Facebook page, which is hosting the Facebook site. So if we will use i3, i5 kind of processor on the Facebook real server, then do you think that it would be able to handle the load of crore of user at the same time? Because in the entire world, millions of users are accessing the Facebook page at the same time. And i3, i7 processors are not capable for that. So on the server hardware, there will be another processor that is specifically designed to handle the load of multiple users at the same time. Means they can do the hyper-threading activity. Hyper-threading means they can run multiple batch jobs at the same time. Multiple jobs it can accept. It can accept click job from another user. At the same time, it can accept login job from another user. In the different part of the world, someone is trying to post anything on the Facebook, so that is again a different job. In the another part of world, someone is trying to comment on the photograph which is posted on the Facebook, so that is again another job. So these are the batch job, means parallelly multiple jobs are running. So the hardware, on the server hardware, there will be a processor which is capable to handle this kind of jobs, this kind of batch jobs and hyper-threading job. So those processors are called Xeon. These are the most powerful CPU available or designed for the server hardware. On the server hardware, you will see the Xeon processor, and it will have multiple cores. Core means, cores is, you can say, the hand, the hand of CPU. Just like there is one person, and for the normal human being like us, we have two hands. Right? So we can use our two hands to do our work. But suppose if we would have 10 hands, then don't you think that we would be able to do multiple work at the same time, because we have 10 resources now, 10 hands, right? With our two hands, we can only do the two works at the same time. But suppose if we will have 10 hands in a single human being, then we would be able to do a lot of activity. With one hand, we are cooking the food. With one hand, we are operating the laptop. With another hand, we are running the TV remote. So we would be able to do a lot of activity with our 10 hands, right? Similarly, that is called core. That is called core in the processor. Core means hands. If you have two core of processor, it means CPU has two hands. It can do two hyper-threading activity at the same time. If CPU has 16 core, it means it has 16 powerful hands. It can process 16 different instructions at the same time. So multiple cores we have on the physical server, your server will be more powerful. Your CPU will be more powerful. Just like in my i5, this is my personal. So in my personal, I have i5 CPU. So in i5 CPU, how many cores are there? So in case you want to check, we can check it on Google, like how many cores are there in i5. So you can give a rough estimate. See, it can range from 2 to 6. Means maximum it can have 6 core, the 6 hands, and minimum it can have 2. So again, it depends upon the money that you are investing. It depends upon the generation, what generation of CPU you have. Just like in my personal laptop, I have 11th generation of CPU, and in the market, it is 12th generation now. So it also depends upon the generation. Just like this is 11th generation. So in 11th generation, maybe I will be having around 4 cores. In the 12th generation, it can be 6 cores. So whatever cores you have, it means your system is more powerful. The speed will be good. And when we talk about the Xeon processor, in the Xeon processor, there will be multiple cores of CPU. Multiple cores. It depends how much money you can invest for your infrastructure. You can have 32 cores of CPU. But for i3, i7, i5, these kind of cores cannot be there. So that's the reason, especially Xeon processors are designed for the server hardware. So whatever server hardware you are using in the company, whether it is Dell server, whether it is Lenovo server, whether it is H server, whether it is IBM server, there will be Xeon processors. And Xeon is also Intel product, Intel Xeon processor. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any further doubts?
So do we also use AMD processor?
Yes, in the company, again, AMD also comes in the Xeon category. Means on the server platform, the AMD also comes in the Xeon category. And nowadays, ultra processors are also coming for the robotics job. Like for, you might have heard about ARM architecture. ARM. So ARM architecture CPU have also introduced in the market for the server level thing. Like if your job is robotics, artificial intelligence, machine learning. So if you are doing that kind of server deployment, then you can use these kind of CPU. This is far more powerful than the Xeon. So you can say these are the advanced version of Xeon, Ultra and ARM architecture, but this is only used for robotic process automation, machine learning, scientific research and all. So for the servers which is running the service load, they are using the AMD in Xeon or Intel Xeon processors. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any further question, any doubt?
For it is not related to that what kind of system we are using, like Linux and Windows.
No, it is not
So
related to that. This is hardware platform.
yeah, so
You
it
can
is
run
not
any
rela-
operating system on these hardwares.
so like okay, so it is not related to even 0.1%. It is not related to that. That if I am using Linux, so it will be beneficial for me to use AWS, and if I am using Windows, so it will be beneficial for me using Azure. So it is not related to that.
It's not something that Azure and AWS. See, these are the processor. Like this is the platform where you run your operating system. If you are using AWS, Azure, again, what you are doing, you are hosting your servers on the cloud platform. But on the cloud platform in the back end, your operating system is getting installed in some kind of hardware, just like you are using AWS. So if you install any server on AWS platform, so at the back end, at the Amazon site, there will be a physical server. On that physical server, your operating system is getting installed. So on that physical server, these kind of processors will be there. Understood?
Yeah, okay.
So this exists if you have the cloud infrastructure that will be managed by the vendor, means the cloud provider from the backend. But if you don't have the cloud infra, that is the on-prem, then you will have this kind of CPU in your own company. So this exists. Without this, you cannot deploy your servers because you actually need a hardware platform to run your services. So if you are on cloud, it means you are using that hardware of different provider, the different, suppose AWS. In case of AWS, you are using the platform of AWS. So you cannot see that hardware because that hardware is present in the Amazon site. But actually that exists. Understood?
Yes, yes, yes.
So this is the scenario. Now, if you don't have any doubt, just one more thing I just wanted to confirm from you. Just give me the answer that have you all have some basic knowledge of Linux, basic knowledge in the sense how to create file folders in Linux, how to install it, how to access it. Do you have this knowledge? No.
No, sir. No, sir.
It means most of you are very zero in Linux, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's the problem.
But
Because
it is,
I was about to start Linux after AWS, but since we will be deploying most of the servers on AWS, that will be based on Windows server plus Linux server. So for Windows, you have the basic idea how Windows works. But for Linux, if you are saying you don't have any idea, then I will have to give you the idea on the Linux first. Because on the AWS platform, when we will run the servers, well, we will deploy the EC2 instances. So we will have to run the services like Nginx, Apache on the Linux platform. So if you don't understand the interface of Linux, then it would be very difficult for you to understand the compute part. So, okay, no issues. I will have to start with the Linux then. I will do
Sir,
it.
we can, sir, it will not take time. We have not used Linux, so that's why.
Okay,
But
no
it will not
issues.
take time
No
to learn.
issues. If you have not used Linux, then I will start it from the Linux. And then we will move on to the AWS platform. We will deploy these services. So first we have to understand the Linux part then, because it is important. Otherwise, most of the things will go beyond your head. So, okay, no issues. We will start with Linux then. So what I want from you guys is, since we are going to start from the Linux, so do one thing. Do you all know how to use VMware Workstation?
yes, sir.
Yes.
Everyone knows, like, right? VMware Workstation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So do you have your laptops, own laptops?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So do one thing. Do one thing. You have night. So just download VMware Workstation. In case nobody knows how to download it, just go to Google and search VMware Workstation download. This is the link. Click on it. Don't buy. Just click on this one. Download now. Once you will click on this, then it is going to download a setup file. Just install that in your personal laptop. Once that is installed, Don't do anything, just keep it installed. And we will start with Linux then. So we will be using the company based Linux, which is Red Hat Enterprise Linux. I will give you the idea of Red Hat Enterprise tomorrow during tomorrow class, like what is Red Hat Enterprise Linux, what is Ubuntu, what is CentOS, and why company uses Red Hat Enterprise Linux in the real company environment. So I will give you that idea tomorrow. But for now, what you can do is just go to your internet. Then here you need to type Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8 ISO download. This one you will type Red Hat Enterprise 8 ISO download, enter. Then you have to go to this site developers.redhat.com, and from here you will have to download the ISO image of Red Hat, dvd.iso. But before that, it will ask you to create the account on this portal. This is the official site of Red Hat. So you can use your Gmail ID. You can sign up for an account. No charges, nothing. Linux is free. It is an open source product. It is highly free. It is not going to charge you a single penny. Just you need to create the account. Let me show you the process. Let it download, let it open. See, this is the site. This is the official site of Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Now here you will click on download RHEL, download Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So just click here. Once you make a click, then you will have to look for the ISO. Just like here you can see RHEL server ISO. This is the latest version, 9.1. 9.1 is the latest one. In the company, they are not using 9.1. They are very latest in terms of platform. So company always use -1, N-1 means the server which is currently available in the market, the production scenario you will see N-1 means before this it was 8. So companies are using 8. Similarly, in the market, in terms of Windows Server, it is Windows Server 2022, but the companies are using Windows Server 2019, 2012. So they don't use the most latest one resource. But in case you want to download this 9.1, so it is not going to impact you. You can download this as well. Otherwise, you will look for 8. So let me see where 8 is available. Yeah, this one. See, once you scroll down, then this one is the 8. So here you have to download x86-64 dbt.iso. The size is around 11.33 GB. So you can do it after the session. Don't download Arch Linux. Don't download. I will let you know what Arch is. You will have to download this one because our processor is this. This is our processor architecture. Arch is a different architecture. So download dbt.iso. Let me take the screenshot of this particular option so that you don't forget.
Please provide a link of this.
Yeah, link I am also giving you. So in the chat box, in the screen share session, it is not allowing me to take the snip. Let me stop the sharing. Let me take the screenshot first. Because due to security reason, it is not allowing me to take the screenshot. So I am again sharing my screen. So can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It only allows Dropbox sharing. It means it will not allow my screenshot to be shared in the chat box. This is again one of the limitation of Zoom. So, okay, I will do it on Google then. Google.
Sir, we have Snip.
A snip is there, but on the Zoom chat box, I cannot use it. Like I have taken the screenshot. This is the screenshot, but I cannot upload it on the Zoom chat. This only accept the screenshot from Dropbox. So that's why I'm sharing it via Google Drive. As an engineer, you should know multiple jugaad. So this is my drive. And in the AWS weekend class, this folder, you have got this folder access, right? Have you all got the videos of the last class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I am uploading it in the same folder. I am uploading this screenshot just for you, for your reference, because you will get the video by tomorrow evening. So till then, what you will do. So this is the screenshot I have applied. I have uploaded on the same link that you have got from Anamika. So on the same link, there is a screenshot. So you will have to download this image, this one, x8664, not boot.iso. You will download dvd.iso. By mistake, I have selected this one. You will download dvd.iso. Okay. So you will have to download this file at night. And once you will click on the download, it will ask you to register on the site. Just like suppose if I click on this download 18.33 GB, then it will ask you to register just like this. So here what you can do is you will have to create an account. Because I have the account, I have the official account on the Red Hat because I'm Red Hat certified also. I am RHCE. So I have the account, but for you guys, you can register for it. How will you do it? So you will register for a Red Hat account. You will click on this. And here you have to create one of the login, means you have to create any user ID. You can create any user ID, then you can enter your Gmail address here. Then you can enter your information, job role, kuch bhi, anything, company name, anything, just mention eBijan. If you want to mention your own company name, you can do it. If you want to mention any fake company name, abc.com, test.services, you can. Job role, you can make yourself vice president as well. It is up to you. Then you have to create a password. Then next, then the account will be created. The same thing, once the account will be created, then you would be able to download the ISO file. So once this ISO file gets downloaded, then I will tell you the Linux part. Means we will install it on our VMware workstation. We are not going to install it on our cloud for the time being. Until we learn the Linux, we are not going to install it on the AWS because it is going to charge us. Since we will be using the resources on the cloud, so our money will be used. So once we are familiar with the Linux interface, then we will start deploying it on the AWS platform. So hardly it would take, today is what? Today is 11th. So from tomorrow, if we will start the Linux, then hardly it would take 6 to 7 classes, including Saturday and Sundays, to finish the Linux part. If we continue in the 3 hours of class, then we will jump to our AWS console and we will use this kind of servers on the AWS platform. Okay. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So for today night, you have 2 tasks. Just download the VMware workstation and just download the ISO file of Red Hat Enterprise 8. I am pasting the link here. This is the link of this site. Just copy this link and for night, just keep it on downloading mode. Once this will be downloaded, then tomorrow night at 8 PM, we will club again and we will start our practical. So I have this image. I don't have to download this. I have this in my system. Even I have another hard drive also, and I have a lot of hard disk. Where is this image? Yeah, this one. I have this one. So this will look like this. Once you will download this one, so it will look like this. So it is 11.3 GB and it is very older one. So you can download this ISO. It will look like this and we will install it on the VMware workstation and we will start our practical on Red Hat Enterprise Linux, which is the official Linux for the company. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So this is your task for tomorrow. Just download, not tomorrow, just for today. Just download these two setups, the ISO file and the VMware workstation for the night. Then tomorrow I will start with the Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Also just work on your AWS account. Just get it created, because once we are familiar with the Linux, then we will deploy our workloads on the AWS console. So just be ready with that also, but don't do any kind of tricks on the AWS account without my supervision, because it is going to cost you. So don't do the practical with your own. Don't try to hit that without any supervision. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
So for today, we are wrapping up till here only, because it was the doubt session. So I'm not stretching it more. But for tomorrow, the class will be for 3 hours. Like at 8, we will club and we will go by 9, 10, 11. Okay. So be ready tomorrow. Be ready for the time dedication and all. So for tomorrow, we can start our Linux. Time. Enjoy
Hello,
your night.
sir.
Good night.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, once again, share the link. Red Hat.
Oh, yes. developers.redhat.com, and this is the link. In case you don't get it, just simply go to the Google. Well, I have shared you the link, but in case this is the option, go to the Google, type Red Hat RHEL 8 ISO download, then this link will come. This is the link. Here you will have to open this. Once it is open, just click on download RHEL, this one, the top option, download Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Once you will click on this, then it will redirect you to this particular page. So here you need to scroll down and you need to select 8.7.0 dvd.iso, this one, and click on download. Once you will click on download, then it will redirect you to create the account. So if you have the account, that's good. If you don't have, you will have to create it. You will have to register for the Red Hat account. Before this, if you directly want to register to the account, then before downloading, you can also do it. You can go to this site, just go to this site, and here you can see there is one option of login. So you can click on login directly and you can register for the account. So you can first create the account, then again you can go to this link and you can download the ISO. That is also possible. So whatever suits you, you can do that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Will you be able to do it?
Yes,
In case no, in case if you fail any issue, if you face any issue, then I am there. So I will guide you tomorrow. So tomorrow I will start with the installation of Red Hat Enterprise Linux. I will let you know what kind of servers are running on the Linux platform in the real company. That I will tell you. Plus why company prefers Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and apart from this, what Linux options we have available in the market. Then we will do the installation of Linux and we will start with command line interface. We will see how the command line interface works, how the shell works. So that is our target for tomorrow. So tomorrow there won't be any doubt session, but still if you will have any question, you can discuss, but there will not be any dedicated doubt session. I will start the topic. Okay.
कमांड तो सब पे सेम ही होंगे ना लिनक्स के सारे?
No.
ऐसा नहीं है?
Different. In Ubuntu, it is different. In CentOS, it is different. In RHEL, it is different. So, some commands are same, but some commands are different.
मतलब कितने % सिमिलैरिटी होगी सब में? 20%, 30%?
Only 20%.
20%?
Yes.
Sure.
So CentOS, different command. Red Hat Enterprise, different command. In Ubuntu, you will see different. Like in Red Hat, we use yum space install, and in Ubuntu, we will be using httpd plus Apache. That's the difference.
Sure.
Okay. So don't worry. Time to time, we will familiar with the Linux. That's very easy to understand. Once you will be familiar with the command line interface, then you don't have to worry about this. And the actual money lies in the Linux. There is no money in the mouse. The money is in command line interface. So you will have to do it by any base, because that's the future target. Otherwise, you will not be able to learn 20-25 lakhs of package. For that, Linux is mandatory for everyone, whether you are working on Azure platform, whether you are on AWS. At a particular point of time, you will have to learn the Linux.
Yes, sir.
So
Sir,
let's yes.
एक क्वेश्चन और है, जो जैसे हमारी जो जॉब है तो वो किस तरह की कंपनी में लगेगी, जैसे जो पर्टिकुलर क्लाउड का काम करता है या फिर नॉर्मल जो कंपनीज होती है वहां भी मिल सकती है?
It can be any company which has the infrastructure on cloud environment.
So
cloud का काम करने वाली company is only AWS, Azure, Google, Alibaba, Rackspace. So these are the company who only have the business of cloud, right? So these are only limited company, 3 to 4. So you will get the job in any company which have their infrastructure on the cloud environment, and they are looking for the cloud administrator. Okay.
कंपनी के अंदर भी पर्सन होते हैं जो मतलब कंपनी के साइड से मैनेज करता है.
Right.
Cloud.
Yeah, right. In the company, there will be cloud engineer who manage the cloud deployment, cloud troubleshooting part.
Okay.
Okay.
सर
Yes, Shikha.
जी सर बेसिकली हम AWS के बाद मतलब जो भी जो हमारा वर्क होगा वो ट्रबल शूटिंग का होगा ना, एक पर्टिकुलर टेक्नोलॉजी पे लाइक
deployment and troubleshooting. Deployment plus troubleshooting. If the company says you that deploy to 20 servers on AWS platform via Terraform, then you will have to do it. Deploy the VPC via Terraform, you will have to do it. Plus, in case if there is any outage in the server environment which is running on the cloud platform, then troubleshooting will be also your job.
Okay.
So deployment plus troubleshooting.
सर वर्क फ्रॉम होम की अपॉर्चुनिटीज तो मिल जाती होंगी?
Yeah, in cloud it exists, but not for every company. It depends upon company to company and project to project. Frankly speaking, it depends upon the manager relationship.
Okay.
For some company, it depends upon the project. They will give you the leverage to work from home. But if the company does not have that work from home opportunity, then if you have the good relationship with your manager, then it can be possible. Just like for me, my company is totally on work from home since last 3 to 4 years. So that's the reason we are doing work from home. And I have a very high workload. I'm on an architect position, so I have to give my 9 to 10 hours in the shift. So that's why company don't ask me to go to office.
एक्चुअली सर अभी जो मैं जॉब कर रही हूँ उसमें भी मुझे वर्क फ्रॉम होम ही है, मतलब लाइक जब तक भी मुझे जॉब में रहना है और 9 आवर वर्किंग रहता है, तो तभी मैंने पूछा.
Yeah, that's the reason. If you can devote more time, then company can give you that leverage. In cloud, in DevOps and cloud, it is possible. You can get this kind of job. You can get this remote kind of job. It is possible. But yes, again, it will be depend upon the company. For now, once you will start your journey with the cloud, just get the job first. Then if you will gain some experience, if you will have some 1 year of experience, then you can demand from the next company, or you can look for that kind of opportunity. That would be very easier to get. Like if at my point, if I look for the opportunity for work from home permanently, then I get it, because there are some company like KPMG, Publicis, so they are offering this kind of, but not every company is offering work from home. Okay.
Okay.
So let's yes. Yes, you can use VirtualBox as well. If you have VirtualBox, you can use that. If you want to go with the VMware, you can download that as well. Okay.
सर एक कंपनी में जैसे कितने एम्प्लॉय तक हो सकते हैं क्लाउड के नॉर्मली आपके हिसाब से?
डिपेंड करता है how big the infrastructure is, but admin persons are not very much. Desktop engineers are very much in the company, but the core admins are very less. Like in 10,000 users, in the 10,000 user, you will see only 2 or 3 admin.
Cloud.
Okay. Yes. That's because they are earning good salary. That's the reason. And that's a server level thing. So again, one admin is managing a lot of servers.
Okay.
Okay. Let's connect tomorrow then. Okay. At 8 p.m.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.